Hello, Top Fan family and Heads Up Sports Cards supporters. It is that time. It is the Unraveling Baseball. Before we get Mike involved, I just want to shoot a very hearty congratulations to the Colorado Rockies for being the first 80. Boys, congratulations. My hat's off to you. Wait, Mike, that's the wrong category, right?
Yeah, it's the first number you want 80, not the second number.
Oh, shoot. Somebody should have told me this. Doggone it, you would think that I've been reading these things. I was just noticing that Milwaukee or that the Montreal Expos were in first place too. So am I reading the right sports page? Maybe not, huh? Mike, how you doing,
Are
man?
the
Happy
Brewers still
Sunday. Special
in the
edition
AL over
Sunday.
there?
Yeah, we're doing fine. It's special edition Sunday. We're doing Unraveling Baseball on this Sunday for you because of the trade deadline. Mike, it's kind of like Top Gun. He went like this, I went like that.
That's
I
right.
said to Hollywood, where'd he go? And Hollywood said, where'd you go? That's kind of
I'm
where
on
we're
your
at with
six,
Mike and I.
Goose.
He's been on vacation, he's been doing some stuff. I hear that he's in the running to buy the Red Sox. I mean, it's crazy what this guy's got going on.
That's right. Yeah, I got Theo on speed dial. We've been going back and forth. There've been
Yeah.
some intense negotiations.
I heard that your last negotiation to buy the team was that you would supply all the baseballs and fungo bats for a season for the next team that Theo gets involved in.
Yes. Yep.
So, and
Yeah,
two
I can
Bitcoin.
hit the fly balls too. Actually, I said that I'd go out and I'd hit the fly balls with the fungo bats.
Of course you would. Mike, the trade freaking deadline. Talk to me
Oh
about it.
man, it's always the best part of uh or one of the best parts is one of the highlights of the baseball season is the
Yeah,
trade deadline because there's so many moving parts, there's so
yeah.
much going on. Uh I my favorite point of the day was at 6:20 after the deadline. I logged on I logged online and I just read through all the transactions and saw them all plain as day because usually you only hear about like the big ones, but being the I don't know, the know it all has such like a negative connotation, but like I know a lot of players in baseball. I know a lot of the players, so
Mhm.
uh both prospects and like lesser known bench guys and everybody across the board. So, I like to go see all the different names and stuff that moved from and to places and whatnot. So, unfortunately, the Red Sox, we lost one of our biggest fan favorite players from the minor leagues, and Mr. Blaze Jordan. But we'll see. Maybe Steven Matz has a couple extra innings in him, and can help the Red Sox down the home stretch this year. So,
So you picked up Dustin May. So you reignited
yes,
Dustin May and Wakabilla.
yes.
What did you think about that trade?
Uh, I don't think it was a big enough move that the Red Sox needed to make. It was a move that they needed to make, but it was not like the most the move of the most with the most need,
Okay.
right?
I actually like this for you guys, and I'll tell you why. Um, the Dodgers, again, we talked about this offline. You have Roki, you have Yami, you've got Snell, you've got um, uh, Roki and Glass now, right? Those are your top four, and then you're going to have Clayton. Maybe next season he comes back, maybe he doesn't. Who knows? But Dustin May is a free agent at the end of this season. He's going to want to get paid. The Dodgers are going to try nickel and dime him to death. It may hurt that relationship. Why not put him in a place where he can A, be competitive for the rest of the season, give him
Yep,
a fresh start, and give him the opportunity to go get paid in Boston?
that's right. And we love redheads in Boston. Just go ask Brian Scalabrine. We are fans of the redhead.
Yeah. And so I love this move for you, Mike. I really it was a little bit of a gut punch because I mean I've watched Dustin May come up, right?
Sure, yeah. He's homegrown for the Dodgers.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that it was, and the like uh it gives the Red Sox a lot of pieces on the back end of their rotation, which also is needed and necessary. Where
Mm,
you never know like when one of these guys is going to just fall off, and you need extra arms. So now they have Mats, May, Kyle Harrison is still hanging out down in Worcester, and getting totally reworked and revamped. So they have this nice little cushion of pitchers.
mhm.
They definitely. I mean, the talk around here, is that they needed another bullpen arm. They needed a power bat. They need a first baseman more or less. Abraham Toro is probably not a long-term option at first base, but uh, they made the moves that they could make. I'm sure that everyone and their mother was asking for Duran and or Roman Anthony,
Of
that
course.
Breslow was trying to talk to, and it just didn't happen. I had to laugh that they're prognosticating on the radio about what conversations are like, and the Padres obviously were the big uh, trade talk. Very interested in Duran and whatnot, but also obviously probably asking about Roman Anthony, and they were like, "Yeah, you want to talk about Anthony? We need Cease, we need King, we need Tatis." And obviously, like that's not a trade that the Padres, who are going all in, are going to make.
Well, we'll talk
But
about the Padres in a we'll talk about
that's
the
kind of
Padres
the
in a
deal
second.
that, yeah.
But hey, I gotta get your opinion on this because I'm looking at this now, and the teams that and you guys 3 weeks ago we were talking about okay next season, right? Now we're talking about hey, you guys are in the wild card. What's it going to take for you guys? I didn't realize this, but uh, Bello,
Yeah, yeah,
Bayo, I'm sorry, Bayo, you got Crochet,
yep,
Giolito is having a
yep,
decent season,
yeah,
and now you add May in there, you've got a solid foursome there.
yeah,
And
yeah. And
so,
if Walker Bueller can round back into form, again, like maybe Steven Matz becomes a long reliever. We already talked about Kyle Harrison and the contributions that he's made. Their bullpen is actually looking really quite good. Justin Wilson was a great pickup for the Red Sox. Justin Slayton, he'll be back, and was solid at the beginning of the season. Obviously, Chappie is just like mowing him down like it's 2012.
mm,
uh, there's nothing like. I mean, I guess he never really was not doing that, uh, but he's really turned it back on this season, and it's been a lot of fun, and like basically lights out if they have a lead in the ninth. So
yeah, no, I agree with you. I agree with you. I'm looking up stats as you're saying this. Um, so the Red Sox, I think, got better, right? The Yankees are struggling with some injuries. They didn't do as much. Toronto has kicked it into ultra high gear in the last week and a half, 2 weeks,
yep.
and said, "Everybody here, hold my Gatorade," right? Or whatever these fluorescent drinks these fellas are drinking now, these sugar waters, whatever it is. That I never know when I see these things that look like they come out of you when you're sick, and these guys are just downing them in the dugout. I'm like, I don't know what that is, but
Hey,
good for
you
you.
know,
It's like Rocky cracking an egg open
man,
and drinking it.
but Bo has just been on a tear up in Toronto, which is
Mm,
like great from a baseball perspective. Not so much when you're a Red Sox fan.
yeah.
But
So, so let's talk about a team that decided that, speaking of hold my Gatorade, I want to get your opinion on this. I mean, you said that you looked up all these. Um, the Padres went all in, but as our good friend and a good friend of the show, and somebody that you met before, Mikey Leeds Blue, talked about earlier with me, the Padres truly went all in. So they got Mason Miller, they got Ryan O'Hearn, they got JP Sears, they got Nasty Nestor, they got Will Wagner, right? But they gave up the number one prospect. in their system,
Yep.
number three overall in the
Yep.
MLB.
Yep.
They gave up their number three prospect, their number six prospect, their number eight prospect, their number nine prospect, their number 13 prospect, their number 16 prospect, their number 17 prospect, and four other prospects in their trades. So they basically are saying we are going to win now. We are not going to wait for the future because we just mortgage the farm. Mike, you've been doing this a long time, man. Tell me, what do you think?
I mean, they have a team that uh, should be able to go punch for punch with the Dodgers. They added a huge piece. I mean, JP Sears has been nice
Mhm,
this season. He's he's a number three pitcher,
mhm, mhm, mhm.
but Mason Miller is a lights
Elite
out
closer.
elite closer, definitely. I mean, if Chappie wasn't having the season that he was having, Mason
Mhm.
Miller would be, you know, around here we would be talking about how we need a closer like Mason Miller, right? We have a great closer this season. Uh, Nestor, okay, like he's the bottom of their rotation kind of guy too. Um, Ryan O'Hearn, hey, he was an all star by default, like
And knowing
uh,
you make it. Okay.
yeah. So I mean, they have Ryan O'Hearn already. His name is Gavin Sheets. Like
Yeah.
they have that guy already. So is Ryan O'Hearn a huge upgrade from Gavin Sheets? Probably not.
Yeah.
You know. So like, did they make a ton of moves? Yeah. Did they mortgage their entire future? Probably. Uh, but we'll see what happens because usually I mean, in our history in baseball, how often does the team that loads themselves up with with the biggest moves, the most moves, end up actually like finishing the job?
Yeah, it doesn't happen that often. And
Right.
what, because first of all, you have team chemistry, right? These
Sure.
guys, I mean, when you're talking about guys like Mason Miller, who is playing in Sacramento, okay, it's not a big jump to go down to San Diego, right? And his family can, it's not a huge thing. They can take a train down, whatever. They can do whatever. But when you're talking about moving guys from Milwaukee and other places like that, where they're moving halfway across the country,
Sure.
I mean, these guys, they have kids in school. They have all kind, like it's a whole different game when you're playing in this realm. So I, yeah, I don't like mortgaging the farm. I, you know, Manny's getting older. Bogarts is getting older, and he hasn't produced exactly the way they thought, but
Yeah.
not bad. I mean,
I
Jackson
mean,
Merrill,
Xander is what he is.
yeah, yeah. Jackson Merrill's young,
Yep.
but you just basically took these guys and made them older to win now, with the hopes that I mean I got to think the front office is thinking if we can nail down a World Series in the next year or two, we can recruit the talent to come to us and we'll be able to draft better and things like that. But I don't know. I think it's a risk.
It's definitely a risk. It's definitely a risk. I mean, we will see how it all plays out, but they obviously have some tight competition. Arizona decided that they were going to be sellers, and dealt off a big piece in Josh Naylor, and Merrill Kelly. So we'll see what happens with them. Um,
Yeah.
San Francisco is going in the wrong direction also, thanks to the wonderful Rafael Devers, and the piss poor attitude that he brings. Um,
Warms my heart. Sorry, Sam, but it warms my heart, Sammy. It warms my heart.
don't say I didn't tell you, Sam. Don't say I didn't tell you so.
Woo! Don't say we didn't
Uh,
warn you, sir.
yeah, I mean, and we can. round it right back to team chemistry, right? Like sometimes team chemistry means you have to move pieces, and
Mhm.
sometimes team chemistry means you have to keep things exactly as they are. So, will it work out for the Padres? I don't know. It worked out for the Red Sox to get rid of that piece, that negative piece that was, somewhat affecting, at least what was going on around. Like we've talked about
Yeah.
this in past seasons, like. You have somebody that's a huge distraction like Devers was.
Mhm.
Uh, now all the other players, instead of focusing on their game, have to be like answering questions about, well, what did Rafi do today? What are your thoughts on Rafi Devers? Now he's gone. They can just focus on business and look at what's happened, and they've been tearing it up
Yes.
since then.
Yeah.
They were 3 games under 500. I think when the Devers trade happened, and now they're 9 games over. So that's a 12 game swing. That's nothing to turn your nose up at.
Yeah.
Uh, so hopefully it doesn't hopefully the Padres front office knows what they were doing, and made the right moves for their team. So
Yeah. I hope so. I just
if
so
not, the Dodgers have just solidified the next 10 years of world championships, Bill. So at least the NL West.
and that warms my heart too. So we talked about what I'm going to say is I'm going to say a solid trade deadline for the Red Sox. We talked about what is a risky trade deadline for the Padres. Let's talk about the Dodgers for a second and their almost lack of doing nothing. Mike, if you were a Dodger fan, if you were me, would you be shivering right now, or would you say, "What do we need? Like, what are we doing?"
The old addition by or
Subtraction.
yeah, addition by injury, addition by return kind of
Yeah,
is for the Dodgers, right? They have some pieces on their way back. Uh I mean, I don't really know, Bill, like what do the Dodgers need? Like if the Red Sox were the Dodgers, or if I were a Dodgers fan, I would be perfectly happy with where we were at.
yeah,
It's
me too.
minor changes, it's minor tweaks. Uh and they kind of did that.
Well, I did a live on Friday night at 9 o'clock. I did a live, and it was funny because people were kind of, "Oh, what did the Dodgers do? Why didn't they do anything?" And I said, "Guys, what did we need? What did the Dodgers need? You've already got when you get all these guys back already, even with the Dustin May trade over to Boston, what do we really need? We've got like 6 or 7 starters when everybody's back. What are we looking for?"
Right.
You
Yeah.
know,
Right.
and
Where's the hole?
yeah, you can't complain, I
See you
should
later,
say.
James Outman.
Yes, exactly. James, enjoy yourself. That's another guy that needed a fresh start. Besides Dustin May, that's another guy that needed a fresh start.
I
But
mean, so that's like what happens, right? Like, like teams end up with log jams at different positions, and like, yeah, you're upset to see them go because you're like, oh, that's our guy. Like fans look at it a lot differently than
in the business of baseball.
than the business, of course. And I was talking with D Man and some of my other buddies after the Dustin May acquisition, and they're like, we gave up Tibbs for him, like we just got him. He's such like you know such a great prospect, but where and when was he going to play in the Red Sox outfield? That the fact. So I'm sure Breslow was trying to make uh, other moves, but when he couldn't make any other move, like, and that move was available for them, that was the move that he had to make. Because there's never like if you couldn't move Abreu or Duran for the right deal or Yoshida, or like Rafaela is on the infield now, but he's arguably the best center fielder in baseball.
Yeah.
Like if none of those moves were feasible, then you have to like kind of go down the ladder. All right, well, like we have this guy that's a big prospect. What can we get for him instead? Because like, again, he's probably not even going to make the majors for the Dodgers. He'll probably get dealt again and end up
Hmm.
in Miami because that's what it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, it is the case exactly. It's like Pittsburgh back in the 50s.
Right, or
You
he'll probably
speak
end
out,
up
you're
in
gonna
like
in Pittsburgh.
honestly, he'll probably end up in like Tampa or somewhere like that,
Uh,
and come back and bite the Red Sox in the butt. But like it was the move that had to be made. And again, I don't want to keep going back to the Devers thing, but it was like as soon as they found the right deal, it was like go for it. That
mhm.
that you have to take it. Like when the Giants were like, we'll take his entire salary and we'll just give you the bag of fungos and the balls. That was what the Red Sox were looking to do, was get rid of Devers' salary in that move. And as soon as they found the buyer for that, bang, move made.
Go for it. Yeah.
And again, we finished up our conversation yesterday. Like, at least my part of it was that the scope of the Devers deal does not come complete until this
Hmm.
off season, when we see what the Red Sox do with all the cap space that they opened up. And so that's kind of what I'm excited about. And hopefully that's where they fill the need for their power hitting first baseman, uh Mets.
Yep. 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 We're talking to you, Mats. Um, so the other question that I have for you, Mike, and I put the over under on at this at 5. Now I've spoken to several people that you know. Uh, Most of them put it at over, but I want to know how many times you and Breslow were on the phone at the trade deadline on the 31st before. Like, how many times was he messaging you or calling you or vice versa so that you can make sure that those deals happen and it made sense for the organization? How many times were you on the phone? I put it at 5. Was I right on the over or the under?
I had to tell him to slow it down. It was on the over for sure.
Okay. Okay. All right.
Said, Craig, listen, I know that you need my help and my advice, but
I'm
my
on vacay,
daughter,
brother.
man, I got to focus on the family.
I'm on vacay, brother. Leave me alone. Well, Mike, before we go into the next topic, let's talk about something fun. We got about 10 minutes left in the show. Let's talk about something fun. You and I would not that this hasn't already been fun, but you
Right?
and
Are we
I,
not having? Are we not entertaining?
oh,
Are you
this
not
is,
entertained?
listen, we're the funniest people on the internet on podcast, but all 47,000 people are going, okay, what else are you gonna tell? Anyways, so Mike, you and I typically do box breaks
Yes.
every other week. We do a box break. Well, this month, tomorrow, there will be no box break. Normally, there's a box break with Top Fan Rivalry with the 27 Ounce Club the first week. That's actually going to be on the second week of the month, on the 11th, because on the 18th, we are doing, Mike, we are going to do a what?
Man, we have our first case break coming at you uh, with Heads Up Sports Cards and Top Fan Rivalry. And Bill, I'm so looking forward to just opening packs of cards with you for a long time.
it's, it's, it's going to be a little while, everybody. It's going to be fun. And
That's right.
so Mike will make it happen. We'll get some popcorn going. It might be a 2 or 3 hour live, but that's
It-
whatever,
It'll
whatever.
be it'll be what the kids call a movie.
There you go. There you go. So it'll be awesome. But Mike, we got that going. Now let's talk after the trade deadline is over. Now let's talk about some of these teams. You and I talked about it in the pregame, but there's a lot of teams right now that are just on that cusp, and there's a lot of teams that are already out. Unfortunately, we mentioned one again. Congratulations, Rockies, on being the first 80. Um, they're
Nobody
probably
even
out.
wanted any of their players.
Yeah, they're probably out this season. No disrespect to them, but they're probably out. Seeing that they had a
At least
wild run.
last year, like everyone was talking to the White Sox about Crochet. Like nobody even talked with the Rockies. I don't think they made any moves.
Yeah, yeah. Hey, will you give us Kyle Freeland? No. Okay. All right. Have a good day. That's,
Ace Cowboy Kyle Freeland. That's right.
there you go. So, teams that you think are there's several teams that are on the cusp. The Reds are on the cusp there to
Yep.
catching the Padres. You have Texas that's right there against Seattle. I mean, that whole wild card in the American League is a little crazy. So talk to me a little bit about that.
Yeah, I mean, there are teams that felt like they were right there and needed to make a move or two in order to take the next step. Be excited to see. We already mentioned about Merrill Kelly and the Rangers, see what he can do. We know he can produce in the heat, so we'll see if what the difference is between Phoenix and Arlington. Uh, it's actually probably hotter in Arlington, I think.
But they play in a dome. Well, so does Phoenix. Never mind. That's a
Right? Ah, that's right. They have a dome now, right?
yeah.
Um, so we'll see what happens with the Rangers. They're hanging around. They're doing all right. Uh, we got Kansas City, who obviously has hopefully my pick for rookie or for MVP now that the judge has had to miss a little time, and Bobby Witt. If they can turn it around and have a good second, continue to have a good second half. They're right neck and neck with Cleveland. Um, the Mariners, like, is Big Dumper going to be the be able to sustain for the rest of the season? I mean, it seems like yes. Will Eugenio Suarez be the answer for them? Reuniting with the Mariners. Uh, will the Astros be able to stay strong? I mean, like, we were in the pregame. I was looking at the standings from or the lineups from the past series this week with the Red Sox, and I was unimpressed with what the Astros are currently throwing out there for a lineup. So, I don't know if they have it, and I don't think that I don't know if Correa is going to be the answer for them. Uh, and push them, over the edge. So that whole AL West, I think, is going to be the toss up.
Yeah. Yeah. It's what's interesting about that is if I'm not mistaken, because this weekend we saw some of it, but if I'm not mistaken, I think Texas and Seattle play each other six more times before the end of the season. And so that does nothing but help the Astros. And the best thing that the
True.
Astros can have there is a split, right? Three up, three down for both. And
Yeah.
so, because then they just,
One shall stand and one shall fall.
yeah, yeah. So, but yeah, those are, it's interesting to me, some of these things, man. Some of these teams that are on the cusp, let's see who. I mean, I would love to end up seeing that MLB tiebreaker scenario where you have your three division leaders in all six divisions, and then you end up having one league that has like seven teams tied for the or four teams tied for the wild card or five teams tied
Right.
for the
And
wild
then,
card.
yeah, then it goes down to whoever has the best pitcher with the lowest ERA plus whip, and then multiply that by the team with the highest BAPIP. And
Yeah. And who's had the biggest McDonald's order,
that's right.
for the team,
Yeah.
and it's just
Right. The
it's
team with the best home run celebration.
yeah.
Uh,
I'm at Angel Stadium on Wednesday, and we're there. The Angels are there's a group that was doing something kind of fun, and so we went to go check it out.
is the
And
rally monkey back?
oh yeah, the rally monkey, yeah, it never went away. And so it's 2-1 Texas in the top of the eighth, and the Angels committed an error. Joe Adele committed an error, a couple of walks. Well, they score one, and then they score two. Chapman comes up with a runner on. No, I'm sorry, they scored one, and then Chapman come up with two guys on, and he hit a home run. He golfed it, and he cleared the left field, the short wall, the one that is like 4 foot tall, right? And he's only like two rows back. He literally stood there, Mike, at home plate and watched it and then started walking. After it went out, started walking. He must have walked 10 steps and threw his bat down like his bat was on fire and he had to get out of his hand. And then it took him 40 seconds to get around the bases. And this is the eighth inning. And I thought, you are so lucky this is the last game of the series, and you are so lucky this is the eighth inning because you better
Otherwise, you
hope
get
they don't bat around.
drilled. Yeah. Well,
So somebody's going to nail
do they
you.
do they still do that?
I hope they do, man. It's you got to enforce it, right?
If it was 87, that would happen.
Oh, if it was 87, uh, forget 87. How about like 2014 Brian McCann? Let's see if he touches something. And I'm yelling from the outfield, "Oh, Hoppy, don't let him touch the plate. Don't let him touch the plate. Get into his face about it." But then I'm thinking to myself, well, Hoppy's like 130 pounds dripping wet,
Right.
and Garcia is like 600 pounds of sheer rock. I guess that's a bad move on Hoppy's part. But hey, at least you tried, right? But
Right.
McCann, you remember that with Carlos Gomez?
Yep. Yep.
Yep. You ain't touching the plate.
That's right.
Uh, uh-uh. We're
Yep.
gonna have some words. We're gonna talk about each other's genealogies for a few minutes, and our grandparents and things like that. So
Meet him halfway up the line.
that was probably one of the best enforcer moves outside of the Sophie Cunningham throwing down that lady in the WNBA
Yeah, I'm
last
not
month.
sure that Brian McCann is somebody that I would have wanted to mess with in his heyday.
Carlos Gomez was built pretty well too, so you can't. You're not talking about two non-heavyweights. I mean, you're talking about two heavyweights.
Yeah, it's true.
Whereas with Logan versus Garcia, you're talking about a featherweight versus a super heavyweight.
Yeah, it's true. In his head, and always.
I mean, oh, Hoppy's giving away like 20 inches of reach and like 40 pounds, and
Yeah,
teletape would have been good for him.
right.
So, anyways, well, Mike, what else do we need to talk about? We covered the trade deadline, and we covered teams coming out of the trade deadline.
Man, well, the Red Sox are just ready to rock and roll. Uh, we got a big series with the Royals coming up. Bobby Witt Jr. is going to be in the house. I'm excited for that. And then we'll see those Padres before we meet again. So uh, hopefully we'll be helping you out as well.
Please,
Uh,
yes,
right?
please.
Yeah, right.
We don't ask for much, just a sweep. That's all.
That's right. Hey, I mean, as long as like we'll see Pavetta get some retribution. Dylan
Yep, yep,
Cease is good for 17 runs in the fourth, and my fantasy team knows all about that.
yeah,
But the Red Sox are neck and neck with the Yankees right now, and it's exciting. So I'm looking forward to every day seeing what happens.
yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's we're now at that point where it's exciting times. You now know what you have. You got most of these teams got about 50 games left. Um, 55, some of them. And now it's just it. And Mike, you and I have talked about this 100 times in the off season, and even on this show during the season. It's now about who makes the least amount of mental mistakes.
Yep,
As long as you don't make mental mistakes, you're good to go. You make mental mistakes, you're in trouble. Well,
that's
Mike,
right.
on the special Sunday edition, not only the audio but the visual on YouTube. If you're listening to this on the audio version and you don't know what Mike and I look like, well, at least one of us got a face for TV, and it's not the guy with the beard. I mean, the face for radio, and it's not the guy with the beard. So let me tell you. Um, it's the other guy. But go check us out on YouTube. Make sure you're following Heads Up Sports Cards, both on Instagram and on Facebook. If you haven't seen this guy do a break, you are missing out. It is a work of art. This guy does this the way that this guy does this, and that's why
We
we
just have
partnered up with
fun,
him.
Bill. We have fun with pictures of baseball players on cardboard. So
Yeah, hey, listen, but you know more than I think. You've probably forgot more things than I know about these cards, so I just
I'm
appreciate
trying to
it.
get Tom Brady to hire me at his store. They just
There,
opened in Wrigley. Like
there you
I'm
go.
excited.
There you go. Well, everybody, we'll be back in about a week and a half, back on Thursday nights. We just wanted to do a quick Sunday edition for you. Hopefully, you enjoy it, and we look forward to having you listen to us again. And we'll be back soon. Talk to everybody soon.